Bonnie.
And I'm Carol Ann.
And I'm Colette.
And I'm Kathie.
Today, we are doing something totally different. We are having a game show of sorts. How well do you think you know Colette, Carol Ann, and I? Well, today we're going to find out. Kathie is going to be our moderator. She does not know the answers to these questions. We have 25 questions for you to guess which one it's referring to. Is it about me? Is it about Carol Ann? Or is it about Colette? We'd like you to keep score. What is your score going to be out of 25? Now, some of the answers are very obvious if you've been watching our channel for any bit of time. Some of the questions are a little bit more difficult. You would either have to be a good guesser or you'd have to know us a little better, like Kathie. And some of them may even fool her. So get your pencil ready, be able to keep score, and we're going to find out how well do you know the hosts of Recovering Your Voice. So to take it away, here's Kathie with our first question.
Okay, thank you. Question number 1. Which Recovering Your Voice host was born in Newfoundland?
That was me.
Kathie, you probably got that one correct, right?
Yes, I did.
And our viewers should have got that correct as well.
That's right. And I had the privilege of traveling to Newfoundland with Carol Ann and family one year. It was wonderful. And my daughter ended up going back there later to do some research. Yes. You ready for number 2? Question number 2. Which lady was almost born in a taxi?
Any guesses?
I'm guessing Bonnie.
That would be no.
No, you had that mischievous look on your face. Was it Colette then?
It was me. That shouldn't surprise you. I'm always in a hurry. Yes, my mother told me that I was on the way to Cornwall's Hotel Dieu, and she had to call a taxi because my dad was at work and there was 3 kids at home and somebody was babysitting, and I just wanted to make an appearance fast. But apparently they just made it in time.
And that's something new that I didn't even know about her until we were preparing for the show. Did you know it, Carol Ann?
I didn't know that either.
Ready for number 3? Name the host who takes a yearly camping trip with her kayak. Oh, I know that one for sure.
If anybody's watched the show, they know that's me.
Yes.
So we've been doing this now. One of my dear friends, Kim and I, and sometimes we have different ladies with us, but we've been doing it now this will be our 11th year. So we started at 50 to go camping out in the wilderness with our kayaks, but we love it and we look forward to doing it again this year.
Bonnie, I remember kayaking with you and thinking, whoa, these girls are pretty serious. So good for you. Good for you. Okay, number 4. Who has 8 grandchildren? Should I take a guess?
Yes, please.
I think Carol Ann has 8.
Yes. I think I'm the oldest. Or no, I'm a little younger than Kathie, but yes, I have 8.
Yes. Which host is the only one that loves to crochet? I don't know. Would it be Colette?
That would require some time and me sitting still. Guess again.
Would that be Caroline? Bonnie, you again? While you're in the
Uh,
paddle, paddle.
I wish I could do it in the kayak.
Oh,
I
lovely.
love to crochet. You'll see me every evening, almost every evening crocheting. Yes. And
Oh,
I keep telling the girls because they say they want to learn. And so I keep telling them that one of these days we're going to have a little crochet lesson, but Colette doesn't think it's possible for her to learn.
My favorite project that you have, Bonnie, is your prayer shawls. And I saw the effectiveness of them when Mom received one, and I have it now. And it's so special to me. And you made one for my neighbor when her dad passed away, and she was so touched. You want to witness about Jesus's love? Make a prayer shawl. So much so that her mother requested one after too. So she's got quite a ministry there.
One of my privileges was a friend of mine goes to Cuba and has a ministry down there. And so there were, I think, 25 different ladies that were part of her ministry. And I was able to make shawls for all of them and send them down. And that was such a joy to be able to crochet those for the ladies down there and know that, the little bit of Canada was heading down to Cuba.
That's beautiful, Bonnie. Beautiful. Are you ready for number 6? Guess which one of the gals started college at age 17? Okay, so that would be our strongest academic. Would that be Caroline? No, would that be Bonnie? No, would that be Colette? Colette, you could sit still for college at age 17?
Barely. They let me out in the barn. Okay, I got to go in the barn. Remember, it was agricultural college, so So yeah, I was 17. I went in. I started a bit later, so end of September. Turned 18 in December.
Okay.
Yeah, so academically, it wasn't it, honey. I was just a December baby.
Wow, agricultural college. Amazing. That explains your love of animals, right? Yeah. Okay, number 7. Which one of the ladies almost drowned as a toddler? Well, it can't have been Bonnie because she loves to kayak. Is that right? Maybe Caroline living by the ocean? Yes, living in Newfoundland surrounded by water. Oh my, how scary.
it wasn't scary for me at the time. I was little. I actually remember it. I remember being face down in the water and seeing my mother's friend's legs and thinking, oh, this is interesting. But I guess I was under too long and snatched up. And yeah,
Oh,
a little too much excitement.
yeah. Well, and as a toddler, you were just so tiny then, right? Scary for your mom. 8, name the host who can trace her family history back to the 1100s. Would that be you, Caroline? No. Bonnie?
Yes, it is.
1100s. That must be what you're doing while you're crocheting. Ancestry.com, right?
I can't take any credit. That was my mom, and she did a family history and trace the family back with some help from ancestors, or from, I should say, family members who lived in England and Scotland. And so one of my precious memories was in 2002, my mom and my sister and her family and myself and my son all went to England and Scotland and got to trace and see some of the places. And it was so special to see through her eyes how excited she was to visit some of the places that she had only, researched.
Question number 9. Who was strapped in her first year of school for talking too much and strapped again in grade 4 for not finishing homework? Well, it can't be Bonnie because she would probably not want to be a teacher. And it can't be Carol Ann because she's probably the quietest of you 3. So, Colette, is it you?
Surprisingly enough, no.
Oh, no. Well, tell me who then.
It was me.
Caroline? Wait a minute, let me read it again. Who is strapped for talking too much and not finishing homework?
Yeah,
It was you?
it was me.
I can't believe that.
So I guess strapping works.
No. Recovering your voice does not condone strapping.
No, I'm joking because I don't talk very much. So that's what I meant. Just teasing.
Teasing is allowed. Okay, number 10. Who had their artwork hanging in a gallery in grade 5? You mean like an art gallery in grade 5? Oh my goodness. Bonnie, was it one of your crocheting projects? No. No. Was it one of Colette's crazy science experiment artworks? Yes. Was it Colette?
It was me,
Yeah.
but it wasn't a science project. And I think it's ironic because all I can draw now is stickmen. So my teacher used to say, draw something, and I do a squiggly line and say it was a cloud, say it was a cloud, until she did 3 circles on a page and didn't connect them. So I couldn't say it was a snowman. So I drew a clown on a unicycle. But I didn't even know it was in there. Our school went on a trip to the art gallery, and somebody came up to me and said, your artwork, you have a picture here. And I went, yeah, right. And sure enough, it was there. So it was, it was shocking that it was there. And anybody that knows me knows I can't draw. So we knew nobody would catch that one.
Wow, that's exciting for you because I remember when we were homeschooling, we had the math, the language, the science, we had all kinds of extracurricular activities, but we were limited in our artistic ability. So we asked your wonderful neighbor, do you remember?
Joanne. And because of Joanne, Amy got into Sudbury Secondary because of the portfolio.
Oh, wow. Wow. Bless her heart.
Yeah, we were both lacking there, weren't we, Kathie?
Yeah. We had almost everything covered except art. That's right. Okay, number 11. Who spent much of her childhood growing up at a tourist lodge? Okay. I know that Bonnie did a program last summer overlooking a beautiful lake, I think. Right, Bonnie? So was that where you grew up? At a tourist lodge overlooking a lake?
I did grow up, yes, on the French River. And so
Yeah.
I spent most of my childhood there, especially, only during the summer months when my parents ran the tourist lodge. So I had a very interesting childhood.
Wow. So they actually ran the tourist lodge.
Hmm. We had a lot of fun and a lot of freedom, because mom and dad were very busy with the tourist lodge. So my sister and I would have a lot of freedom of swimming and fishing and boating and, getting into mischief.
Yeah. Yes. Well, I'm surprised then that you aren't the one that had the drowning accident with all that freedom. Okay, number 12. Oh, I know this one. Which host taught herself to play guitar as a young mom? Carol Ann.
Yes.
I love that story. I love that story. Tell us about it.
Well, um, for me, as a young mom, housework was always priority number 29. I'd much rather do a whole bunch of other things before um, doing cleaning up. And I think it's because like I would clean the floor and then maybe half an hour later, milk would get spilled on it or something like that. So I just learned, okay, let's just take it easy and not get all bent out of shape because, the house is not perfect. But instead, while the kids were playing, I and Dave, my husband, bought me a guitar because I had an interest in it. We were going out to meetings at church and hearing people sing and seeing people play the guitar. So I had an interest, and I had a couple of years piano as a kid, so there was a little bit of a foundation. But anyways, yeah, I just spent time with the little ones and taught myself to play the guitar and gave myself about 6 months and then forced myself to tag it along and, play for others. And it wasn't until I started doing that I really became more comfortable and more fluid, I guess, with the playing.
I remember, Carolyn, I remember Dave saying he would leave for work in the morning and you would be spreading out blankets on the living room floor, feeding the kids breakfast, and grab your guitar. And he would come home 8 hours later and it would be the same. But it was obvious that you had changed diapers and wiped faces and fed them lunch. But basically, it was the same scenario, and your children and you were so happy. And that's what really mattered to him. So that's wonderful. I think that's a wonderful story. Good for you. Oh, except you just gave us a clue for number 13, who has not taken formal piano lessons. Oh my. Who has not? Well, I've seen. Colette, would that be you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Closest to my musical ability is our son Jan. Okay.
Number 14. Which host has not milked a cow? Oh, you girls, we went from formal piano lessons to milking cows. So I know you probably did, Colette. And I'm thinking, did you have cows at the tourist lodge, Bonnie?
No.
No. Then I'm thinking it's maybe you.
That would be correct. I have never milked a cow.
Okay.
You got that one right.
Yay, one for me so far. Number 15, who was in a motorcycle accident as a teen? A motorcycle accident. Okay. Well, I would think Colette. Were you Colette?
Why is it all these kind of whatever that's pointed to me? And surprisingly enough, no.
No? Okay, then, Carol Ann.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Ooh, ooh.
And maybe that's why for my kids,
Mm.
whenever anyone thought, I think I want to get a bike, you get a bike and I'm going out with an axe to destroy it. So,
Oh.
because I think they're so risky, right?
Mhm, mhm. Number 16, who is the baby in their family? The baby in their family. Bonnie, you mentioned an older sister, but you didn't say anything about anyone younger than you. Is it you, Bonnie?
I'm actually the oldest and just have a younger sister.
Oh, sorry. Okay, can I change my answer?
Yes, you may.
Then it has to be Colette.
It is. And can't you tell the spoilness all over me?
No.
And the entitlement all over me? I wear that one really well. It is me. I am the baby of the family. So I'm 60, Jack's 61, Helen 62, and John 63.
Okay.
That was a very busy family.
Yes. No wonder you were in such a hurry to join them all, right? In the taxi?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Stick with that.
Name the host who has never appeared on television. Is that correct? Right? Number 17, name the host who has never appeared on television. So 2 of you 3 girls have been on TV. I have no idea. None. I'm gonna guess Bonnie.
No,
Have you?
I've been on TV.
Really?
I was
Colette?
on I
Hmm.
was on 100 Huntley Street.
Oh,
I was part of a music group and I had sung with that music group and traveled for 2 weeks. And we appeared on the 100 Huntley show.
okay. So, Colette, I know you would love to be on TV, but I'm gonna guess Carol Ann.
No, I was on in as part of a drama workshop.
Oh,
Surprise!
I thought that would be Colette. Oh, really? On television?
Yes, but I was young, and just, at this stage where I was happy to explore different things. So that was one. And
Mhm.
I remember being asked to recite a poem, I think it was. And of
Mhm.
course, it's drama. So I was supposed to do it, I guess, well. Well, I was nervous and I
Oh,
and
no.
he said, just a second. He said, you can't get away with that. So it had to be a redo. So
I was just going to say, was it live? No, it was redo like this.
yeah,
Perfect.
they didn't have editing. So it went like
Oh,
that. Yeah.
whoa. Oh dear,
Yeah.
that was the end of your TV career.
At least she had one.
Ah.
Short and sweet. Okay, number 18. Who attended some of her elementary schooling in a 2-room school? Oh my. So that would be like from Little House on the Prairie days. Who's the oldest here? That would be me. Well, I suppose someone who lived remote. Bonnie, because of your love of teaching, I'm thinking, would it be you?
Yes, it was.
It was?
Good for you. Yes. When I was at the tourist lodge, there was the only option for us was to go to a two-room school. And so a husband and a wife were the teachers, and the wife taught from K to 3 in one classroom, and the husband taught 4 to 8 in the other. And it was mostly other tourist lodge owners' children that attended there. So it was very interesting. Lots of fun.
Wow. So, Bonnie, are you saying then that you actually did you live at the lodge year round?
6 months of the year. So we would have to change schools every twice a year.
Oh, oh.
Yes. And so that was the reason my parents ended up selling the lodge, because I was in grade 6. And so they thought, well, lodges, they don't sell very quickly. So it might take a couple years. So we better put it up for sale when I was in grade 6, knowing that when high school came, we weren't going to be able to do that back and forth schooling. So they put it up for sale at that point. So
If you would have asked who went to school in a fire hall, that would be me.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Same fire hall that I used to volunteer with Good Neighbors.
Right.
Same fire hall. Yeah. So
Yeah.
they were finishing up making more room at Redwood Acres.
Okay.
And I went to the fire hall.
So, Carolyn, did you go to school in a lighthouse?
No,
No.
an ordinary school. Yeah.
Aw. Oh dear. I just had to ask after that. Okay, number 19. Oh my, who has taken a speed reading course? I would automatically want to say Bonnie, but you just answered the last question, right?
it wasn't me. No.
It wasn't you? Okay. I've seen Colette's home library. So in order for her to get through the thousands of books that she collects, she must be a speed reader. Yes?
Yes.
Yes. Ah.
Yes.
Do you
Because everybody knows I need academic help. I used to go to Sudbury Secondary every summer to make up for a course. And one year was math. It usually was, but you're in Sudbury and I didn't want to sit around for nothing. So I took a speed reading course in the afternoon until the bus came. There's pros and cons. Yes, I got through my library. However, when I read the Bible, I sometimes have to turn it upside down. And the reason why is because you can't shut it off. Speed reading. So if I turn it upside down, it slows me down in the reading and it will come in deeper, which sounds crazy, but that's what I have to do sometimes.
Oh, that's interesting, because then it kind of challenges you to figure out what the words are. So you really have to think about it. Okay.
Yeah, you slow down instead of just zoom and it's done, right? You're not meditating or chewing on it. So yeah, so that's, yeah.
Number 20. Oh, which lady has visited 17 countries? Which lady has visited 17 countries? I think that has to be Carolyn, and most of them lately.
Yes, it's
Yes.
and it's kind of unusual because I never really was one to travel. So it's strange how life turns out. Yeah.
Yeah, good for you. It's all very exciting for you and Dave together for the most part, right?
Yes, and it's usually gathering together with believers in different parts of the world. And it's about, usually reconciliation between people groups. And so we both really enjoy it. The most recent one was in Korea, and we actually went to the demilitarized zone. So it's very much kind of living, history too. So and both of us enjoy history. So to go to a country like that we've heard about, and we're all aware of, conflict and stuff like that. It's really interesting to go there and to get to know the people.
Who number 21, who is nearly expelled from grade 12 for using a cafeteria? I read this before, but maybe it didn't grab me. Number 21, who is nearly expelled from grade 12 for using a cafeteria tray as a toboggan to go sliding? Okay. I'm sorry, Colette, but that just sounds like something you would do. Oh, please tell me it was you. Oh, please tell me it was. No. Well, tobogganing is kind of like kayaking, Bonnie. Yeah. Guilty as charged. Bonnie, a cafeteria tray. Oh my goodness. It's a misprint, right? It's supposed to say grade 1 or grade 2. Grade 12.
I have no idea what possessed us, but there was a bunch of us that did this. And so we had never got into any trouble at all, my whole school history, And so the vice principal or principal called us into the office and just put the fear of God into us, made us sweat and said, well, this is a very serious matter. And, I'm putting you on notice and you could be expelled for this, And then he made us sweat it out for a day or so. And then he told us, it was all good.
I'm just really even trying to imagine, like, did you go tummy first or sit on it, or like, how do you fit on it? Like, aren't they just what, 14 by 14 inches? You just sat on there and away you went?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. And it must have been one of those snowy, maybe it was a snow day or something, or, just after a snow day. I have really wiped it out of my memory.
That is funny. Okay, number 22. Name the host who dislikes eating fish. Well, I would think Carol Ann from Newfoundland. I know you love fish. Fish and brews, a jig's dinner, right? I remember it was delicious. And Bonnie, if you were raised on the French River, you must like fish. So that leaves Colette.
That would be correct.
Yeah. Okay.
I must say that she cooks fish really well. She just doesn't eat it.
Okay.
Danielle loves fish, so
Yeah.
I cook fish. The deal is I'll cook it, you eat it.
23. Who among the ladies was tossed off the back of a horse-drawn cart as a kid? On her way to the 2-room schoolhouse? Maybe? No. Colette? No. Caroline? You were tossed off the back of a horse-drawn cart on purpose?
Well, we were thrown off. I was on with the girl whose family owned the property, and we were driving around she was operating the reins or whatever, but the horse probably, I don't, I'm not, trusting horses much since then. So I don't know what happened, but the horse seemed to get fed up and tossed us.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was scary.
Yes.
Yes, I'm sure it would be. Okay. I'm sorry that happened.
Yeah, you need to give me some pointers, and say,
Yes,
get
yes,
back up on the horse again.
yes,
It's
yes,
time.
exactly. Yes, I'd be happy to do that. Number 24. Which host has tried panning for gold in the Yukon? In the Yukon? Would it be the one who has traveled to 17 countries? No. Colette, were you in the Yukon?
Honey, I don't even take a city bus.
Bonnie, you again?
I
When you're
did.
not on a cafeteria tray? Oh, Bonnie, you went to the Yukon and panned for gold.
Yes, my husband and son in 2019, we took this incredible trip, and it started out as a cruise, and then it went to a land tour. So we went all through the Yukon and up into Dawson and over into Fairbanks and down into Denali and so on, and left Anchorage. So we had this incredible time, and part of it was being able to pan for gold. But I must say, I was very poor at it. My son had a real knack for it, but I wasn't good at all. There's more than just, swishing the water in a pan. It has quite a technique to it. So I wasn't able to really catch on too well, and you got to keep any of the gold that you found.
Oh, okay. Number 25, the final question. Oh, I know this one. Who is the expert bread maker among us? Colette, is it you?
They're saying yes, but I can't make rainbow bread.
Oh, no, it was store-bought. And I bet you could if you tried. I know you could.
Honey, you got some of that rainbow bread too, and I just had a hard time eating the green part. Okay, I was taught not to do that.
Well, Colette, that's your ministry. I remember when my husband was on strike, and when Ben was born, and when I was so sick with pneumonia, I could always count on homemade soup and homemade bread from Colette. And for many of my children, well, for Gord's for sure, for his birthday every year, he would say, could we have the fry bread like Mrs. Kaza made for us? Do you remember that, Colette? It was like a big puffy pancake, right? And we covered it with what? Syrup, brown sugar, cinnamon, all of the above, right? Yeah.
Fruit, whipped cream, whatever. Yeah.
Exactly.
Kind of like, I guess, a beaver tail, eh, guys? Kind of like the beaver tails. It's like, yeah.
But you would always have the most delicious soup and like bread to eat with the soup, and then the fry bread to have for dessert with something sweet on there. I remember it so well.
Oh, that's so cool.
Well, just keep your homemade soup with the homemade noodles and homemade bread coming.
Yeah.
And Colette, I want to know, how many thousands of loaves of bread have you made over the years?
You know the amazing part, guys? I said this to Danielle. I will think that I'm a bread maker when I can do it in one of those old-fashioned ovens, like Middle East ovens and stuff. That is a bread maker. Or the old-fashioned ovens that,
The
that
wood
is
stove.
like the
old wood
oven.
stove.
Yes. Then I would say, hey, I can do this, but really, come on. We stick it in the oven, right? Yeah.
No,
it's-
it's a skill because I tried to make bread 7 times and 7 times failed. Dave tried it once and was successful. So I'm, smart enough to understand, okay, you're the bread maker. And it was the same with pastry. So he is the one who does all of this fussy stuff. And I usually say, the kitchen's not my gift.
Well, how well did you do on this test? What was your score, Kathie? Did you add it up?
18 out of 25.
Oh,
So that's
wow.
72%.
Well, see that? She said it right away. 70, no calculator involved. Like,
That's a B minus or a C plus.
honey, if I got one of those on my report cards, I'd have been celebrating, okay?
So to you, the viewer, how did you do? You could tell us in the comments below and let us know what your score was. Thank you for joining us in this game show style of learning more about your hosts. We hope you've enjoyed it. And if you have questions or concerns, if you want to just give us an encouraging word, you can write us at recoveringyourvoice@gmail.com. Now, next episode that comes and airs will be a regular scheduled program. This is the end. It's our last summer shorts until next year. So until we meet again, keep sharing your stories. I just blanked out, sorry.
That's good. So you will follow through on that, right, Kathie?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I will.
Your first duty as a host.
Yes. Okay, so how do you want to do this?
Are you ready, Colette?
Well, I guess I'm going to have to say, and I'm Colette, so I need my speaker on, right?
Yes, you do. And so does
And
Carol
Carol
Ann.
Ann, so do you, honey.
Thank
I
you.
don't know how to turn mine off, so I'm on.
You're ahead of the other girls already.
Oh, sweetie, people have
Only
been
by
trying to
default. Only by default.
people have been trying to turn my speaker off for years, honey. It isn't working. Okay.
And I don't know all the answers to those questions. I'm so embarrassed.
Don't be embarrassed.
Oh.
This is good. We were trying to fool our main person, Kathie.
Bibbidi bobbidi boo. I have to say something to this bibbidi bobbidi boo.
We're all on gallery.
I've been doing goofy faces all this time, and now you tell me we're on gallery.
Every time we
Thank
go
you.
to the answer, we're going to gallery. Just
Oh,
her.
I have to behave for the whole thing. Okay, fine. Pause. I have to get this dog out of the room, people. Are you hearing him?
No.
Oh
Not
my gosh. I gotta let him go. Just a second.
Okay.
Come see.
Come see. And then she throws him out, close the door. And he's like, what happened there?
Throw his choo-choo out. He's like, no trading here. Just go.
So fun. You girls are so refreshing and so natural. Seriously? Like I was really nervous at first. And then I thought, I'm just spending time with my friends, right? But I have technical difficulty.
Are you technically challenged?
Very technically challenged.
I mean, three inexperienced ladies in their 60s starting a YouTube channel. Like, isn't that God?
Absolutely. And especially if they invite an almost 70-year-old to join them. It's either God or you're gaga.